All right, you guys. So I'm going to go over a lot of stuff this week. You really got to pay attention. It's going to be a hell. I call this hell week. To be honest with you guys, it's going to be a doozy, and you'll see why in a little bit. But let's go through the thumbnail so we can kind of review what happened last week for those who are several of our members. So first of all, for the oil and silver, you can see that there was two trades taken and 894 pips on that, which is very good. No losses. There are some trades still running, so we'll see how that plays out this week. For the Forex copier, we had 10 wins, 3 losses for 467 pips. For my live trade futures group, where I send out my personal trades into the futures channel, it was a little bit bumpy, as you guys know, because in the futures market, it's a little bit different because things happen so quickly. But nevertheless, we still pulled out some wins. So we had 7 wins and 4 losses there. And on this week, last week, I'm sorry, in the live session, they had did 290 points. So, you know, in the futures market, they don't call them pips, they call them points. So I was able to pull out 290 points. The market is very turbulent right now because of the fact that the markets are very, very uncertain about what's going to happen next, including what happened on Friday. Friday, I was wondering why the Canadian dollar acted crazy, and then come to find out, President Trump was upset because and canceled the negotiations with the Canadians because he said they were running negative ads about the tariffs and this and that. So he got offended. And so he said, you know what, we're not going to negotiate no more, forget it. And as a result of that, that is the reason why the Canadian dollar had spiked. So if you guys were in the Canadian dollar trade and you was like, okay, hey, what the heck just happened? That's what happened. So the markets are very, very hypersensitive right now. The Fed, I'm sorry, the U.S. government, especially for those who don't live here in the U.S., the U.S. government shutdown is also affecting the markets because no almighty know when it's going to be over, and things are looking worse and worse and worse by the day for U.S. citizens, especially those who work for the federal government, because this is the first time they're going to go without a paycheck. Some people have been talking about going to food banks. Just to get food to put on the table, even though they work for the federal government. This is why you should never make fun of people who's down on their luck because you don't know when it might be your turn. So these federal workers have a job, they have homes, mortgages, cars, and the family, and yet they're having to line up in the food line because of the federal government shutdown, which there it doesn't look like there's any end in sight. Therefore, they don't have a check, and therefore they don't have a way to pay their mortgage, their car notes, get food, or anything for their families, even though they're fully employed. That's ridiculous. But that's the reason why you got to stay humble because you never know. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Actually, before I get to these charts, which by the way, this is the AUDJPY, I'm looking to buy on this trade, and I'm going to show you a very unique perspective that you need to keep in mind because some of you guys who have several of my trading systems, you see me hopping and skipping in between them. And we might as well go with this one first, and let me show you what I mean. All right, so I'm going to go to my normal setups that I like, which is the Sexy Analyst with the Simplicity system. So, as we can see right here, this is clearly in an uptrend, okay? And for some reason, my mouse is running slow when I'm recording. Let me change this color to something a little brighter for you guys so you guys can see it. When I'm marking up my own charts, I use dim gray because I don't want too many colors on my charts, okay? But for you guys' sake, I will use a white trend line. So as you can see, this is clearly in an uptrend. Right here is where a lot of people get in trouble because what you're going to notice is that, and let me do a little sample so you guys can see this here. Boom. Okay. So right here, you see this little cluster right here. Okay. This little spongy bob. You remember I used to teach the live classes and I call it the spongy bob square head, and where it just goes chop, 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 sideways, sideways, sideways. And then you get your boom, you get your breakout. So therefore, in this situation, this is doing the same thing. It's looking at the original trend. This is how you do it. What is the direction of the original trend? The original trend was heading in an upward pattern. Therefore, if you get something like this, even if it's at the very top and you think, hey, this is a reversal setup. It possibly can, but a lot of times that's signifying it's going to break out and continue, just like the Nas did and the ES did, or the S&P 500 did last week with creating new highs. They created a pattern like this right at the top of the ultimate high, and a lot of people thought, hey, this is just retesting the highs and then it's going to drop. But in essence, it actually broke to the upside and created higher highs and created all new highs. So right here on my normal trading system, I see, hey, this thing is right here. This is in a downtrend. Hey, it's clustering right here and it's getting stuck. But because I know this pattern, this what I call a spongy bob, it's flat, like SpongeBob SquareHead. Once I see this pattern here, this is when I know, chances are this thing is actually going to continue and break to the upside, and it could retest this level right up here. And that will be the 100.484. And so therefore, when I see that, I say, okay, this is going to continue. It's not going to possibly stop here. Now, anything can happen, but I do believe that it's going to continue up. So that's when I switch over to this one for confirmation. And as you can see on the 1 hour, it's saying up, up, up. And this says this was continuously heading up. But on the 1 hour, it's telling you, hey, this thing still has some potential to push to the upside and retest this level over here. Okay. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. So I'm looking for buy trade on AUDJPY. Another important fact that you need to pay attention to is right here. This is why I always tell you guys, don't ever take trades at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 to 6 or 6:15, because in that first amateur, I call it amateur hour. In amateur hour, let me do something for you guys. May be able to speed this up a bit. Close this tab right here. All right. In amateur hour, oh yeah, that's a lot better. In amateur hour, what happens is that you're going to see the spreads, the broker spreads, how many pips they're charging you to enter a trade. Look at this. Before you even enter a trade, especially you scalpers, look at what they're charging you. 12.4 pips just to enter that trade. If we go here, this one is 23.7 pips. This is why you do not ever touch these markets before the market opened. Look at this, 24 pips. Okay, and this is also another good looking setup saying that it's going to push to the downside off the 1 hour time frame. This is GBP CAD. Over here, if I go to sexy, it's going to tell me that it's sitting on strong support. Now, which one's going to tell the truth, we'll see. But what I like to do personally is trust the trend method in the beginning of the week, which is the ocean wave, because the market tends to continue on with the trend that it originally finished with. So if the trend was heading down, then it's going to continue down through Sunday and Monday. If the trend is heading up, it's going to try to push and continue to the upside on Sundays and Mondays. That has been historically proven over and over and over many years. I don't care what pattern you see, don't look for reversal setups because they're not going to be there. Therefore, this is where the ocean wave actually becomes a good friend of yours, because what it's going to do is show you, okay, where is this pattern going? And as you can see right here, it's heading to the downside. If I go to the 30-minute, you could have seen white hair. You could have been in it, but it's also telling you head to the downside. Okay, so 1 hour or 30-minute is an excellent way to use this trading system, which, by the way, we still have the sale going on for those who want it. This is normally a $300 trading system. It's still just 69 bucks right now. The Simplicity system is just 69 bucks. The Simplicity scanner is just 69 bucks. Just use code 69 for the Ocean Wave. Use 69 for Simplicity, and use the code word birthday for the Simplicity scanner. It's my wife's birthday week, and so therefore I'm still having specials for you guys. All right, so let's keep this moving. Why don't we stop right here? And by the way, as you guys can see, the other thing that I'm doing, look down here, you notice that I don't trade a lot of pairs. I may swap these in and out, but I'm reducing the number of pairs that I'm actually looking at, because the more you get accustomed to just learning the patterns and the methods and the movements of a few pairs, the better you're going to be, rather than chasing all 28 pairs. Okay, so let's get to the news. This is going to be a doozy of a week, and then we'll get back to the charts. Okay, this is going to be very, very important week. For some of you guys who are brand new, I suggest do not try to use a prop firm account. Do not try to use your personal account. Demo trade, demo trade, demo trade. This is the week to demo trade. Okay. And when I bring this on screen, you guys can see exactly why. All right. Right here, this is going to be critical. Okay. Very, very important week. U.S. durable goods are coming out on Monday. That's going to give a little bit of strengthening and rumbling, especially for those who trade in the futures market. So just be aware of that. The AUD coming out with their inflation numbers on Tuesday. CAD is coming out with their interest rates on Wednesday. Here's going to be the big kahuna right here. This is the one that everybody across the board, I don't care who you are or what you're trading, right here, this is going to be the mother of all crap coming out. And that is the Fed interest rates. The entire market, the global markets across the entire world are all going to be paying attention to this one situation. What are the Feds going to do? Are they going to raise, lower, or keep the interest rates exactly where they are? This is going to be huge. Do not trade during this news event. I'll repeat, do not trade during this news event. Some of you guys who have prop firm accounts, some prop firms do not even allow you to trade during these type of news events. So either way it goes, I suggest whether you want to trade, if you like high volatility and all that kind of stuff, whatever, this is not the one to be played with, to be honest, in my opinion. Okay. But if you want to toy around with it on a demo account, then do your thing so you can learn. Okay. But the reason why it's hard to learn on interest rate news is because you have no idea whether they're going to raise, lower, or keep the interest rates the same. You don't know. So you may say, oh, okay, the last time it did, yeah, but that was the last time when they said, hey, they're going to lower interest rates. This time they may say they're going to raise them, or they may say they're going to leave them exactly the same. You don't know what they're going to say. And as a result of you not knowing what they're going to say, the last time's results may not give benefits to this time's results on in trades. So what's the best route? Just wait. Stay away from the market. Just, hey, stay away. Give it about 15 minutes after the news is over. See where the market lands and then hop in and pay attention to some trade setups. Other than that, just stay out of it. What's the point? Why keep putting your stuff at risk? Okay. So this is not a good day to trade. I'm just telling you, it's not. But you got the CADs coming out with their inflation numbers. You got the JPY coming out with their interest rates. U.S. jobless claims is going to cause a little bit of jumping in the market. And then you have the Europe, which is the euro, coming out with their interest rates. So it looks like inflation numbers and interest rates is going to rule the day. I would suggest take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot, take a screenshot, take a screenshot, pause the video and take a screenshot. So right before you get ready to jump into a trade, you'll be able to pay attention and say, okay, let me check and see what news event is coming up so I don't get spiked out of the trade because I wasn't paying attention to news. Okay? All right, let's get out of that. All right, so let's get back to my normal sexy analyst setup and let's go through. So again, AUD, JPY, I think this is going to break out of here and break to the upside. Okay, so I'm not looking for sales on this. I'm looking for a push of continuation to the upside on this one. Okay, so I think this thing can push up higher and possibly come up to the 100,484. I do agree with that assessment. Okay, let's check this. And right here, you can see that the channel is also pushing up. So it is normally at a stopping area. But again, I just know how Sundays and Mondays are. They are always continuation patterns. The only thing I'm hoping is that the market does not do a weekend gap where it already jumps up before we can actually get an opportunity. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay. All right, now let's go to the EuroCAD here. EuroCAD, okay, EuroCAD is interesting. Again, this is in an upward trajectory. It was trending up, but because of the news on Friday that President Trump is cutting conversations with and negotiations with Canada because he got upset that they started doing ads against against the tariffs. So I cannot tell you for certain exactly where this is going to go. We're going to have to wait and observe and see what the market reacts, how the market reacts, and then we're just going to have to follow the markets. Overall, it is in an uptrend on this 1 hour. You can clearly see it was an uptrend, and I like this pair because when it trends very nicely. Okay, when it trends up, it trends up. When it trends down, it trends down. It was trending up, and then you had this pullback. So I'm looking for a pullback reset and then take it to the upside if possible. Problem is, Europe is coming out on when? Thursday with their interest rates, and Canadian dollar is coming out on Wednesday also. So Wednesday is Canadian dollar, Thursday is the euro. So we have a few days to see how it's going to play out before we have to worry about the news. All right, let's go to Euro JPY. Euro JPY, I really don't see anything here worth, my time. So I'll leave that one alone. Right here, this is interesting. This is the Euro NZD. Euro NZD is in a downtrend. We can see on the 4 hour, it is on a downtrend. It has created a slope or a slant pattern on the 4 hour. What I'm expecting is a possible bounce from here and a retest to the top. Just like you've seen when it came down here, sat on support and my daily dot, and then it came and bounced. Did the same thing here, drifted until it came down to the daily dot, sat strong on support and bounced out. This is sitting strong on the 4 hour time frame. The channel on the 4 hour is also upward. So I'm looking for buy opportunities on the Euro NZD. We do have a buy arrow, but again, you can see there was the news on Friday. So I'm just waiting for a pullback possibly and then take this thing to the upside. But I am looking to buy Euro NZD this week. GBP NZD is pretty much flat right here. So to be honest with you, again, this is given that same pattern that I'm warning you guys about. This overall is on the 4 hour time frame. This one is different. It is sitting on this support level, but we have to see whether it's going to respect it or not. Now, why am I concerned about this one? Because it's given that same flat pattern. Okay, so therefore it may spike through and do a liquidity sweep out of here. Right here is just sitting in this zone and not able to break out. Okay, and so therefore I don't trust this one. So it has to wait. I will wait for a buy arrow on the 30-minute or 15-minute. Okay. But specifically on the 30-minute, I want to get a buy arrow off my scanner before I take a look at this thing here. Right now, it's not something that I'm interested in because of this. It's sitting on this level here. And a lot of people see it as a strong support, which it could be. But oftentimes what it does when I see this kind of pattern here, where it's flattening out right here, it can break through and continue on. You already see one candle close below this level. So we got to see if the market is going to pull back up and resume back to the upside here and say, okay, this is a hard slant. Enough is enough for the selling, and we're going to buy to the upside, or it's going to continue down. Either way it goes, this is where the simplicity scanner comes in, because it takes the pressure of you having to make that decision and to just wait for the arrow to go ahead and tell you when to get into the trade. All right, GCAD, same thing. GCAD is sitting on a strong support level on the 4 hour. The trend is upwards. So let's go down to a lower time frame and get an idea of what's going on. This again is one of those situations where it was pushing upwards very nicely. But what happened was, and again, wait for the 30-minute arrow, in my opinion. Just wait for it. See if you get a 30-minute arrow, or you can wait for a 15. That's up to you. But see, the arrow came in and this thing got slammed. What happened was that, and I suggest to do a 30-minute arrow. You'll get in later, but it'll be greater because you'll have a lot more certainty of what the market is actually doing. So again, this one was sitting on this strong support level, but you see another candle close because the GBP got hit, and then the Canadian dollar because of the situation I explained. So therefore, just wait for the scanner to tell you when to get in. I still like this thing for a buy because it's sitting on, if you can look at the outward channels, you can see the outward channels is saying that, hey, here was the lowest point. It went all the way up, came back down. This created a higher low because this is a low, but this one is higher than that one. So therefore, I'm still looking for buy opportunities. So even if this breaks through, I'm just going to wait for my scanner to send me an alert on the 30-minute or the 15-minute to tell me when to buy. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this one for a buy trade. If I go to the 4 hour time frame, you can see this is still also in a upward trend. The trend is still heading upwards. So therefore, I'm just going to wait for that buy opportunity. Okay. Until then, I'm not going to do anything. All right. NZD, USD. I don't like it at all. It's just been sitting in a nice little choppy. And that's also why, for those who's in my futures group in the Asian session where I send out my trades, my personal trades through Telegram, you'll notice that I have not been trading the 6N for quite some time. This is the reason why. It's just too choppy. It's not doing anything. So I don't mess with it. All right, same thing with this one. This one I'm not going to mess with for a little bit because, as you can see how it goes choppy for sometimes. Choppy. In fact, I need to take this one out of my list because it's just a chop fest. All right, let's go to USD Swiss. All right, USD Swiss. I do believe that this is now, as you can see, the overall trend is seeing upwards. Right here, you can also see that this is heading in an uptrend itself. Therefore, I would be looking for buy trades. By the way, let me stop here. For those who want to sign up and join our copycat service, because a lot of these trades that we're talking about, my team and I, we actually do the trading and you just get copied on them. You don't have to do anything. So just go to supereasyforex.com and hover right here over the copycat trading system. Click on the yellow and it'll take you to our secondary website, or you can just go directly to the website supereasycopycat.com, supereasycopycat.com. And what happens is you'll see me take and just so you'll get an example of how does it work, you'll see me taking a trade right here on this side, and then this is your account right here. You'll see the trade will populate over here. When I close it out over here, you'll see it close out over here. So you can watch this little short video just to understand how does it work. So therefore, all these different setups, because I'm going over the ones I'm looking for, but my team is Jenny and Dr. Elvis. They look for other setups. And so therefore, you can get copied on all of our trades. And so you just click on the join button. There's different packages for subscriptions, and you can do that. Now, if you want to be in the live trade sessions with Miss Jenny to trade live with her, then you just go to our website. You can click right here on live futures trading from the main website, Super Easy Forex, or you can go directly to Futrix, Futtrix.com, Futrix.com. And when you go there, see, you can see Futrix, Futtrix.com. So you got two options. If you want to trade live with Miss Jenny, then what you want to do is click right here and you'll be trading live with her several times a week, and you'll be able to do the New York session. If you want my trades, which I'll send out, and it's not just Asian session, it can be any time of the day when I find setups. You'll be able to join that session right here. So just click and join, and then you'll just reach out to our license department, which is in the tutorials, and just tell them, hey, I just joined. And once they verify that you joined, then they'll give you the link to the Telegram group, or they'll request your Telegram name and then add you to my group, and you'll be receiving my personal trades. Okay. So just want to get that stuff out of the way. Now, back to the charts. So I do see that this is in a uptrend on the 4-hour time frame. And let's go and drill down a little bit shorter to a shorter time frame. And as you can see right now, this is doing a pullback because it did fire up and went pretty far, and now it's doing a pullback. However, overall, this is still going to be an uptrend in my opinion. It's going to push. So at that point, because it's clustering, I think that we're going to get that push to the upside. So I'm looking for buy trades this week on the USD Swiss. Okay. All right. And now final, almost final. Right here, this is where a lot of people are going to come into the market this weekend, and they're going to try to sell. But again, what did I tell you? I said never try to sell at the beginning of the market, because at the beginning of the market, here is the same thing. Same thing, baby. Same thing. Same thing. Look at that. It's going to push. It's going to push higher, definitely. Okay, definitely push to a little bit higher. Now, how far can it go? I don't know. It looks like it can go another 37 pips or to retest this level, or 40 pips or whatever. But either way it goes, one thing I do know, safe to say that in the beginning of this week, I'm not looking to sell, because I'm seeing that choppy sideways pattern, just like we saw on AUDJPY. For an example, if you look right here, what did it do? Chop, 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 broke out and shot to the upside. Chop, 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 chop. It's going to break to the upside. Okay. All right. Which, by the way, on 6J, I'll tell you guys when I'm entering on that trade on the futures market. If you're part of my live group in my Asian session, I'll be sending out that trade when it comes and happens. Now, this all depends on when I'm saying all this, and I hope that the market doesn't do the weekend gaps, because that's what messes me up. Because when the weekend gaps happen, I'm almost 95% accurate on my analysis that I do in these videos. But if the weekend gap happens, what that means for those who's new, weekend gap means just because your broker closed down your trading platform does not mean that the market stopped just because your broker stopped you from trading. Therefore, the markets will have continued what they were doing over the weekend. And that's the reason why when you get to your trading platform, you see these big old moves have happened. And the market just opened for you, but what happened is the market continued even though your broker had closed. So I hope it doesn't do that. So because I'm finding great opportunities and I want to take advantage of them. The problem is I just don't want them to do that weekend gap where I miss it. Okay, so we did do the Euro USD. Okay, I expect a pullback first on the US Euro USD, so I'm not looking to buy right away. I'm looking for that pullback first, and then maybe a thunder thrust later on. But again, it depends on the news. All right, let's go to GBP USD. All right, GU is in a mess, and so therefore I'm not looking for anything on GU right now. I do think it's going to push further to the downside. So if anything, sell, 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 sell. But we'll see. It's in a hard slant pattern, but again, because it's in a downward trend, the market loves to follow the trend first. So it could come down and retest this level back down to here, from here to here. And if that does it without the weekend gap, we're looking at another 14 pips. If it pushes even further down below this level, then we're looking at 52 pips where it's retesting this bottom. Okay, which who knows? It could do that. All right, USD CAD. Let's take a look. Caddy dropped again. This is in the upward trend on the 4-hour time frame. On the 1 hour, I'm sorry. Let's go to the 4-hour. The 4-hour is saying that this is now heading down, but because it's the upward trend first, okay, upward trend first. I do believe this thing may push to the upside first, but again, because it's tied to the Canadian dollar, scream and holler Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollars, because of their negotiation break with the U.S., I don't know where this is going to go, so we're just going to have to observe it. Okay, you guys? That's enough for today. I'm going to go ahead and get prepared for my lunch date with my wife. And so I hope this video is helpful. And again, I showed you guys how to sign up if you want to. And don't forget, the birthday specials are still going on for you guys. So if you want to join it, take advantage of that, please do so. And I will, let me just show you guys, because some people, hey, what's the code? I don't understand the codes. Let me go over that real quick. All right, let's see. Give me a second. Let me pull up the codes for you. And that's just go to supereasyforex.com and get the codes, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong thing. All right, here we go. Let me bring this over for you guys. All righty. So my best friend and beautiful wife, it's her birthday. So we're doing $69 trading systems. And so here we go. She looks great for 69 years old, huh? I'm just kidding. She ain't 69. Ocean Wave Trade Systems. When you go to you can go to oceanwavetrade.com, or you can find the link on our main website. Oceanwavetrade.com, you can go there, or go to supereasyforex.com and click on the Ocean Wave tab. Either way it goes, right there you'll see that you can just use code 69 and it drop it from $299 to 69 bucks. If you go to our main website, supereasyforex.com, to get the simplicity trading system, which you see me use all the time with the arrows, which is why I'm waiting for the arrow to tell me when to enter a trade. Therefore, I don't have to sit at the chart staring all day. It will tell me when, especially with the scanner. Scanner is a lifeline for me. When I built the scanner, it changed everything for me, because all I have to know is where I want this thing to go, where I'm expecting this pair to go for the week. And then I simply wait for that particular arrow. So for an example, if I'm looking for a buy trade on USD JPY, if I get a sell arrow first, I know, okay, that's probably just doing a pullback, but that's not what I'm looking for to ride the trend. So therefore, I just don't touch it. Okay. Once that buy arrow comes out, then I take the trade, because it's telling me now it's time to get in. Okay. So that's where the scanner comes in, and it works in conjunction with the simplicity system. So you can't, if you're going to use the scanner, you got to have the simplicity system. So this is a great time to get both of these while they're on discount. As you can see, the simplicity system is normally $299. It's only 69 bucks. And the easy scanner is going to be $69, even though it's $169. So you're saving a lot of money right now. I would suggest get all three of these systems, and you'll see, because during certain times of the week, you only want to use the Ocean Wave because it's a trend trading system, which is basically in the beginning of the week, it's going to be your best friend. Then in the middle of the week, okay, when the midweek begin and all the reversals are happening, this is when this is going to come in, and then you stay off of this system. So this is why you want to get all three while they're cheap, okay? All right, you guys, have a great day. And by the way, here's the websites right here in the thumbnail, oceanwavetrade.com for this system right here, and supereasyforex.com for these two systems right here, okay? Take a screenshot. All right, peace and hair grease, guys. Thank you very much.